hi there, and welcome to another episode of Sit and Spin with me, your host, Joe. No Norm the Drowsy Dog tonight. He is off getting his x-rays for his 4 months of recovery. It's been 4 months since he had his accident, and it's 4 months post-surgery x-rays. They're going to check him out to see how well he's doing. The news was good. His leg is healed up fine. He's finally off of restricted walking. We don't have to keep him in a pen anymore, thank God. It's been a long and trying 4 months, so I'm glad that he's finally going to be able to be up and on his own again, which is all good. But you didn't come to find out about that. You came to find out about a new release, or in this case, a slightly new release. Today we're going to be talking about Your Arsenal, the 1992 album from Morrissey, which just got re-released this past week in a special new remastered Deluxe Edition. I'll get to more about what's cool about the Deluxe part a little bit later, but Stephen Patrick Morrissey, as he was born, often goes by his last name as Morrissey, or to his fans, the Moz, was of course the English singer for the band The Smiths, the seminal English band The Smiths, from 1982 to 1987, before he started out on a solo career in 1988 with his first solo album, Need a Hate. I'm going to be completely honest, I was not originally a fan of The Smiths, probably because my introduction to them was their 1995 album, Meat is Murder, which was a former co-worker, used to play it all the time, and it is the most, or I think from my memories of it, was one of the most depressing records ever, especially the title track. If you want to feel down as low as you can get, contemplating suicide or something like that, God forbid, throw that song on. It'll do the trick for you. It's, wow, I can't think of a more downer of a song. But regardless, it kind of really soured me on the Smiths. I had no desire to check them out further, and I really had not really much interest in Morrissey. It wasn't until 1992, when this album came out, that I first got turned around on that. And that is largely because of another co-worker. Sadly, my late friend, Eric Gray Kennedy, who was passed away some years ago, he was the one, I have to give Eric credit, he was the one who changed my opinion about Morrissey. Basically, this record came out, he wanted to listen to it, and I'm like, Morrissey, really? But, you know, he said, no, check it out, you'll like it. He put it on. The track you're hearing right now, You're Gonna Need Someone on Your Side, came on. And I was convinced that I needed to give Mr. Morrissey another chance. And glad I did, too, because song for song, I still think this is the best record Morrissey ever made. It's all good. The whole thing is really great. Basically, right before this album came out in '91, Morrissey had put together a new band of guitarist Alan White, Boz Borer, and bassist Gary Day, and drummer Spencer Corbin. And they went out and toured for a little bit. There's a little bit more on that a little bit later. And worked up this record. And White and Borer had come out of the rockabilly scene, and you can definitely get a little bit of that influences on this record, especially on the song Certain People I Know. And the record also, one of the things that was great about it that I found out made me love it even more was that it's produced by the late David Bowie guitarist Mick Ronson, who sadly also passed away. He was Bowie's main foil and guitarist for the whole Spiders from Mars era, David Bowie, and also worked with Mott the Hoople and Ian Hunter from Mott the Hoople. Great stuff there. And this record represented a very stylistic shift for Morrissey. Up until now, he'd been kind of doing more indie pop, and this was definitely a more modern rock record, and like I said, touches of rockabilly, and also glam, which you could tell from the last song and this song, Glamorous Glue. This was, up until this point, Morrissey's most successful album in the U.S. He'd actually done a little better in the U.K., but for the U.S., this was his highest charting solo debut at the time. The record spawned 5 singles all over the world. We Hate It When Our Friends Become Successful, Tomorrow, which was a hit pretty much only in the U.S., Certain People I Know, Glamorous Glue, which you're hearing right now, and of course a song that probably only a guy like Morrissey could get away with, You're the One for Me, Fatty, which, despite the title, isn't about a heavyset girl, but is actually, albeit more about Madness singer Chad Smith, who Morrissey recently befriended, and it was kind of a jokingly in-joke English thing to do. Very cool, though. But the record, as I said, it's great. Not a bad track on it. The rest of the tracks on it, National Front Disco is awesome. We'll Let You Know, which I've always loved. One of the last lines in it is, we are the last truly British people you will ever know. Great line. And something that's more along Morrissey's kind of more moody stuff. Seasick Yet Still Docked, also a great tune. And of course, I Know It's Gonna Happen Someday, which would David Bowie Can Actually Do It Again be covered by David Bowie a year later on his 1993 album Black Sky, White Noise. And David did a pretty good version of it too. But Your Arsenal, 1992, recently reissued. I opted to get the CD version for two reasons. One, the CD version comes with a bonus concert DVD. That's the extra special goodies aside from the awesome remastering. It was a previously unreleased concert from 1991. I haven't actually had a chance to fully watch it yet, but freebie. It also did come out on vinyl, although this is not the new vinyl version. I didn't get the vinyl version because I already have this awesome vinyl version that was released about, I don't know how many years back. When I started getting back into vinyl back in like 2008, and that was about the time I picked it up. But the new vinyl supposedly sounds pretty similar to that version, so if you don't have it, now's a good time to pick it up on vinyl. And if you just want the CD, which mainly I was looking for, because the original CD version, which while great, really was a little lifeless. It kind of fell flat. It didn't have the necessary punch that the songs needed, which this version has in spades. It so sounds awesome. This record has never sounded better, and I'm so happy that it's out. So, Morrissey's Your Arsenal, 1992 record, out now. If you've never heard it, trust me, it will be the record that will probably make you a Morrissey fan if no other record will. At least it did in my case. Thanks for tuning into the show. I will catch you next time on Sit and Spin. We're going to have a very special little show because guess what? We turned 1 year old, and we'll be celebrating that on our next episode. That's right, Sit and Spin. I've been doing this for a year. We will see you then. Thanks for the absent Norm the Drowsy Bionic Dog. Hopefully he won't be so drowsy so much anymore. He won't be so doped up trying to keep him from killing himself. Maybe he was depressed listening to this. Who knows? But anyway, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you later next time on Sit and Spin. See you then.